at the right time. Some teams may not find it at all, but that's what we test here when we get the best players in the world. And Tiff, it's time for Olympus.
It's so beautiful. I remember the first time that I dropped into Olympus years ago. It was so colorful. Hydroponics was actually one of my favorite drop spots when it came through. I believe the Falcons have actually locked that one in. It's going to be a great starting point for them. You have a ton of areas to loot. You've got the whole entire underground, and then you can really move out quickly, and it mirrors kind of how they played on Stormpoint from Cenote Cave. Unfortunately, they didn't get Lightning Rod. They had a ton of zones that pulled up to the north, which quite frankly probably was bad for them. But this is where you start. The first time, baby, onto Olympus for Apex Comp. Oh my God, Dia, let's get it.
You can hear the excitement in the Sapporo Dome as our players hit Olympus for that very first time. Gen G, the team that we'll be keeping our eyes on to begin. They dominated Stormpoint. Can they do the same starting from Oasis here?
I mean, look, Oasis is juiced. I gotta say, there's a lot of loot there in the bottom of high caliber. Plus, you do have the ability to grab the nearby trident. You can hit quick rotates. You're already feeling confident after the fights that you've been taking. And plus, you know, we saw moments of brilliance out of them in day number 1 from the groups. We thought, hey, you called them a group stage team. You're like, they are going to pop off here. Sure, it's slowly tapered, but this is the Gen G we were expecting yesterday, and hopefully they maintain this form.
Absolutely. Like this is the exact style that you need to be playing as Gen G. This is your strength, and especially last game, we really saw that strength play out. The fact that they were able to take such a fantastic building on Stormpoint with no ring console at all was absolutely wild, and completely threw that game in their favor. It will be a little bit of a different run for them this time, as our very first Olympus zone is going to be pulling us up towards Rift.
Well, I've got some bad news for you. Fnatic up in Rift don't have a ring console. And that is not what you want. Anytime you have an influx of so many teams trying to carve their path into Rift, you're going to see a lot of congestion, especially over towards the garden area. Shopify Rebellion, Liquid Alienware, who have grow towers, and
Anjay, welcome ya.
TSM, they're already getting
siapanya
into it. I hear
M7
the
bang.
res in the back corner. Sharky's down. Just
Aja
go
lu.
in Legacy. Where do you go from here? Do you try to recover? Do you take that fight onto Jen? Panic's already low.
This is a 2v2. Legacy could do this.
Sambil
White
makan ya, guys.
shields, though, doesn't mean that he's got to play that much more carefully. And backing off, does have Jesco on the high ground with him. Jesco and Legacy. I mean, this duo has been together for longer than some people's competitive Apex careers, and they know when it's time to cut and run.
I was gonna say, well, you know, that's not hard to do. We still got some
Halo
teams
Bang,
that
halo
take a
juga warna
lot of
abut,
roster
welcome ya.
changes pretty quickly, but I do think that
Main
it's smart for
Kadita,
them to
ayo.
run. The issue is you can't go 3 or down a player into Rift. You're already there.
SAUL, TSM, and now Reignite all have the right idea, especially in Rift zones. Playing the wall between Power Grid and Rift, especially as you move up further north, gives you a lot of longevity, can likely get you into a top 10, certainly top 5 maybe situation. But the further north you go, and specifically on the line between Power Grid and Rift itself, the safer you are. I like where Rock are at, and I'm liking where Seriale are at.
These buildings are so critical to have. I prefer kind of the one that reignites it. However, when people do tend to rotate into this, it is the one that they're going to go for first. So Rock's brilliant, but I do think that when I'm looking at this map POV, we're going to wait for that pop to come through. I don't think Bangalore's leaving us.
No, that's entirely possible. I kind of want to count right now, and I also
No, don't
I'm
count.
not looking at everything else.
We don't do math on broadcast.
Men of Culture walking up on Unlimited. We did talk about that fight perhaps going down. It was Jayhawk that pointed that out on the desk, and Unlimited rocketing towards Icarus right now, so we're likely going to see that clash soon. Outside of that, Fnatic seem pretty solid up in Rift, and FaZe Clan Riddle could be an interesting fight in Power Grid.
The best part is if you have all these
Falcon mana,
teams
Falcon?
so quickly rotating to Rift, you
Situ
make that
anjing.
mental call. You say, hey, they're all
Dari
coming here.
tadi nggak
We
dapet ring
stay,
terus.
we cement our spot, and we chow anyone that looks to take it from us because they're confident in that regards. For Men of Culture, they've got nothing to lose. They're a duo. Aveki missed his flight by, what, 5 minutes yesterday? Someone's got a voodoo doll of that kid, and he just wants to play Apex, okay? So he'll be here tomorrow for the bracket stages, and his team is just trying to hold on. Yulari, man, that's a key player here for Unlimit, takes a significant amount of damage, and they're kind of doing a diversion here, dropping down 3 of these balloons and be like, I'm not sure which one I'm going to take, but distracting Men of Culture will keep them alive, hopefully, because they have been so difficult to fight against.
Honestly, even the fact that Unlimit haven't been able to do this is wild. And SAUL, so unluckily, went through Stabilizer to try and find a respawn and ultimately run into Gen G, who are running at the zone, this time from the western side of the map.
Okay, well, I don't know. Doesn't look too good for Men of Culture. Especially when you're able to take that high ground. You control this and you keep them out here into that. There we go. Nice little knock. My question is, where did Floating go? Was he able to disappear? No, not going to get out. Peace had his name and took it. Men of Culture.
Wen apa
Team out.
Yeah, the fact that we now have 2 teams out and Men of Culture were once again not the first team to fall. And the duo continues to impress, but we'll have to see what they do next game. Gen G were the ones to draw first blood. They hit us with the Red Bull first strike, and now we'll see what they're able to do as their next move does have to be into Power Grid. It can take as long as they like. They've still got about a ring and a half to do it.
Well, if you missed that first strike, let's go ahead and run it back. There is a nice replay of the first team exiting. Olympus, your first time in camp on land, and it's Gen G rolling up on a trident play. Catwall's down, vision impaired, and SAUL gets deleted.
Through the Valcult as well. Catwall plus Valcult, and Trident beats it all. That was our Red Bull first strike, and a look back at it was wonderful context to have for a Gen G that, as we said, dominated Storm Point, seems to be taking that very same energy onto Olympus. They are very far from everyone else, though, and the real focus does have to be on the teams in Rift, because as much as Olympus has a lot of space around it, a lot of open space, little cover, Power Grid, that's not true of. There's so many spaces to sit in buildings in Power Grid that getting through there for Gen G actually could be quite difficult.
Yeah, but honestly, they've got the Ash pick. No one else is running that, so you pop the ultimate and you just kind of cover a lot of ground quickly. That's kind of how they've been fighting, just really using these off-meta, off-lobby picks and just taking it to the next. It's kind of like the Aurora of old. I'm talking like 3 years ago when we first saw Mad Maggie in comp. Things got wild.
It was, I mean, any team that can run at people and run at them successfully is definitely a team to be afraid of. And group stage is often when we find those squads, but it is very few of them that actually make it into our match point finals. So keep your eyes on those squads for now, and then they'll be really tested during the elimination phase. Five Fears are one of the squads that, as we talked about, have chosen to bunker up in Power Grid. This building, honestly, not fantastic for them. It likely has them leaving around the mid game unless they get very lucky with some fights, because when you're not so far north in Power Grid, you've got too many teams to go through to make it a sure thing.
You're not wrong. I'm looking kind of at the economy that the players have. I saw 5 frags on 1. A Flow has 3. But the difficulty surrounding this is you have Riddle ordered towards your north, but enough about that. You said Rock. You're like, I love this building for them. Sauce is down. It can be difficult to defend, especially when you don't have the Rampart amped covers to throw down. Bax was a moment where he had to defend the team trying to escape just a couple maps prior. What is he going to do here on the crypto? Get the drone up, get that information. But VP is still waiting to make this happen.
Exelon almost got double swung there, but it is a nice reset from Rock. It's difficult to defend these buildings, but by the same token, it's difficult to push them. Virtus Pro might really want to pick a fight with Rock, but Reignite and Seriale are both right there.
Oh, but
Gen G
elsewhere. You see the EMP go down, but Asia is as well. Dexter and Zicky through the door, the fire, the flames. He grabs a knock onto Johnner and still gets traded out. The chaos
Anjir,
to go. Cupid
malah
Esports,
menang.
get out of here, Zicky. We
Wah,
need a
di TP
reset, but
Falcon.
not gonna get it here. Falcons on a trident play.
Nice
and
banget.
send Gen G packing.
A little bit of taste of their own medicine for Gen G as the Trident roll-up really does end them quickly. Cupid, though, getting a big turnaround on there through the Bangalore ult does at least leave Gen G with 6 KP as they exit this lobby. No, 5 KP since there was a duo.
A lot of kills. Looking for more, but they'll have to get it in the next match. For now, back to more Trident gameplay as we cruise through Fight Night, which is so lovely to see here on the main stage. And guys, we're gonna keep on moving forward. This is where you see all of those teams, but I think we're getting thrown up, we're getting blown up, and we're just trying to survive, okay?
Falcons are dealing with the same problem that Gen G were earlier, where yes, you may have won this skirmish for the western side of zone, and now what do you get for it? You have to walk through power grid. That's the unfortunate reality for these squads, but it's great that we look up north here again. Remember TSM who fought SAUL earlier? Well, that fight has resulted in them having the northernmost buildings. Maybe difficult to win a game from here, but placing top 3 and having the chance to win, absolutely tenable from TSM's spot that gets even better.
Oh,
Ringnya ke
this
sana anjir.
pull. Oh my gosh, my heart.
I mean, this is TSM's dream scenario, and it all of a sudden makes that early 50-50 against SAUL so
Tadi juga
worth it.
TSM kayak gitu guys. Di
And I'm in
game yang
5th place
kedua.
overall in the series thus far.
Kalah,
I am
Jim.
just ecstatic. For Seriali, of course, they're going to have to guard through the entire lobby at this point with 16 total teams trying to fight into such a small space. 5 Fears and Fnatic, they're going to say, we're hitting the road first.
Fnatic have a difficult spot. They can actually play this while it's difficult for the TSM to unseat them. But Fnatic choose not to play the western side of the wall, instead commit hard into power grid.
Oh.
I don't know if they had a read on whether this building was empty or not, but Valkyrie certainly helped them out there, and they're lucky to have rotated so quickly as to avoid a real crowding of power grid that would have denied them that position. Now, Fnatic have placed themselves directly in front of Falcons. And, I mean, there's going to be a fight here in at least the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, so start thinking about what that opening is going to look like for you. Imperial, how they're connecting a couple of those triple takes allows them a moment to walk up. You've got the bang smokes for cover thanks to Guild over there. But the fact that we've gotten this in an EMP2 invest, the armor disparity is in favor of Falcons, and Yuka goes down.
Lo
The
itu
stairway
loh.
fight is the nastiest thing I've seen, but
Nah,
as
itu
that
dia.
goes through, you have to thank Waltzy there for staying healthy as Fnatic fall. Waltzy actually leads the team in kills thus far on this series for the Falcons.
I mean, amazing play out of Waltzy and Hal, and great portal out of Hal. Right off the EMP, it was one Ultra Q to take them directly into the building. They finished the fight so fast that Falcons don't even really get pushed or punished for this in any way, and don't have to worry about the third party coming in from Alcadzia, their next door neighbors.
I was curious where that loot was getting slurped off to, and I think Alcadzia is getting the altar moving and trying to be like, yeah, we'll take some of that. Thank you so much for doing the work over there. Hot Dog Mafia, not the best start for them here in this series, and that's okay. It's always room for improvement. You've made it over to Rift. Everyone has kind of decided we've left already. So when you've got Fire Strays down there on the low ground, how do you tackle that? I've got to hear the comms.
We need to just play to kill this team under us.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Give me an ult, Excel. Let me get my TP back. I'll put a new one down, and then
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna jump off and angle them from the wide right. I don't think that they're altar.
No, it's Watson something. They're just tucked, bro.
They
They're
could,
just
yeah,
hard tucked.
they're watching crypto, but I haven't seen their altar. Putting my
They're
TP
getting
here.
naded, they're getting naded,
Putting my TP here, and I'm jumping off
They're getting
wide.
naded. I'm
One
gonna
dead,
EMP
Watson
this.
just died, Watson
I'm gonna
just
EMP
died.
this.
Wait,
One died, one died.
wait.
One died.
Not necessary.
They're fighting, they're fighting.
Peek on me, guys. Peek on me.
I'm getting shot across the map. I have to bat. I can't help. Cannot help batting.
EMPing. Can we
Med
come to you?
kitting.
Can we come to
Got
you?
one.
Oh,
Come to you?
nice.
I'm signed down.
Just
TM
waiting to
can't
wipe
see my
this.
kit.
Push on my back, bro. On the ledge, on the
Alright,
ledge. You can res
TP
me,
back.
Fiddle.
Rezzing.
We cannot let this team reset.
Yeah, I know. We just need to
They're
queue down and wipe
right
them.
here.
We need to just queue down and wipe them.
He's
bro.
playing double knockdown here.
Jump, bro.
Okay.
They're gonna die. They shouldn't just die. Don't
Well,
die on
that's
your
on the
back.
right. Just care.
Break that.
Clear up.
I'm done.
Clear
Get
up.
the
Get
kills,
up.
get
Get
the
up.
kills.
Give us Q. Take the Q.
Aduh. Yang niatnya malah mau nge-app malah
There's a guy up
mati
here.
dua nih.
Rock have the right idea, and fortunately they have a backup plan. But moving on up to the high ground, Shopify Rebellion know exactly where they have gone and are coming up to punish this. FYR Strays have gone down in the meantime, as have Rock during the course of that listening. Shopify are not able to punish on the high ground, but the problem still remains the same problem that Hot Dog Mafia were dealing with just now. How do you get through this rotation with TSM just ahead of you? Hot Dog Mafia, no chance, no choice. They're gonna fall.
Well, as round 4 continues to close, a lot more are going to join them. You see T-Law having difficulty because VP's reaping the south side of this lobby. They're the ones that took down Rock, and they have actually set Liquid Alienware in their sights. Hot Dog Mafia, hopefully Skittle survives, but now we've got a new challenger emerging. It's Unlimit. They said, TSM, you've been the ruler of the North for too long on Olympus. We want some of that. But tucking
Bajir, kok
themselves
bisa
down on
restream?
the low ground, we need
Bisa
some
lah.
critical Sky Nades.
Yeah, Valkulting onto this low ground actually actually could be the thing that saves Unlimit's game, but they do need enough teams in the area. Currently you have TSM and ALGS both keeping each other honest. TSM can't commit to Unlimit, and that is the very thing that Unlimit want. The unfortunate part of this is that the next ring does mean that Unlimit have very little space to play on the low ground, and TSM are still in a fantastic position.
But they're in the north, and this is great for them. We saw so many teams just fall. Seriali
Welcome,
is
Tata.
actually
Nggak
going to
ada,
be
nggak
the
ada
team
Tata.
that has survived the longest.
Nggak
They've
ada Tata,
stopped
anjir.
VP in their tracks and phase towards the west. 5
Eh,
Fierce
gimana,
in
udah
their
sembuh
sights.
belum lu?
Nags down,
Awan.
and well, let's go ahead. Had a little brief there on the melee, and maybe alter void
Bangsal
passage
IG,
throughout. Can
kamu
we
apa?
survive Zane?
Jacksal
Apex
underscore
Legends is a horror
7.
game. Apex Legends is a horror game. FaZe Clan are gone. 5
What?
years.
Ada
Take
di
them out.
followernya
Yeah,
Tata.
that's not what I was
Kalau nggak
expecting to
ketemu.
happen, but that's okay. Down to 8 teams left. Someone's got a Kraber. It's going to be Tida from Riddle, and they're just ahead
Kalau
of
udah
5
sembuh live
Fierce.
terus aku bang. Iya anjir.
Falcons suffering a
Masa nih
loss
orang
as
kagak live
well.
kenapa ya?
You do wonder whether Riddle end up pushing that
ternyata
altar
sakit
still
GWS
available.
ya.
Means that these early pushes
GWS ya
can
ganteng.
just really ripped. I say it early. We're basically at the end of the game. We are coming up on the last couple of zones. Riddle still have the chance to deal some
Si
serious
ganteng yang
damage.
bikin 2
9
DHS
bullets
anjir
left
di
in this
early
Kraber
game
for
guys.
Oh, we're going the distance with this. This is going to carry us through the end game because that essentially the wall that is separating the Rift side from the Power Grid side is disgusting to contend with, but a Gibby bubble to open things up, get into this building, void passage to the roof. The hipfire doesn't connect, but we got the double
Aduh.
Mosiums for a clutch moment back on down to hit a moment of retrieval, but it's this goose egg chase, and Waltzy will be found.
Oh, no.
Momon down, Melstera and Tida trying to
Aduh,
unseat the
Falcon
Falcons,
eliminated.
and goodbye NA.
Well, Falcons go out. Riddle, they don't win this fight, and unfortunately, it is mutually assured destruction for these squads as 5 Fears are going to collect the kills, likely being that last squad, as unlikely as we said it was, left. Nice shot out of Tida. Can't finish the kill though. The Bangalore smoke providing important cover.
It really is, but now we've just got the knockdown shield. Only a few more seconds until we're forced to move into the firing squad of 5 Fears. The nade, the ult, it's denied, and unfortunately, we're not getting through this. 5 Fears, the only team to survive from the west, straight into
Nama
ALGS.
asli Tata
Kills on the board, no kills on the board. They need these.
Tarisha ya
They
bang.
get
Bukan
aggressive
bukan.
on it too. ALGS really want to finish this fight.
Itu
But remember,
Tarisha dapat dari
TSM are
Ome,
right
anjir,
next door to them.
cewek.
EMP going to be thrown out, and Shopify Rebellion, who are playing from so far away, now have the only spot on this. Never mind, it's 5 Fears.
Oh, we've got kills. We've got points. Let's keep it moving, Shopify. We need a good game
Amin,
out of
oke, ya.
this. And Koiful,
GWS
Zainu
dah.
working to perfection alongside the
Salah
leadership
pencet.
of Zap here.
Everybody wants Shopify Rebellion
What's
spot.
Unlimit gonna do here? We gotta get to the high ground. Do we have ult?
They actually should have Valkult. I don't think they want to use it. But
No, but he's going up. He's setting the information. We're climbing. We're working. Little mountain goats.
I really would not hate Valkulting rather than trying to fight TSM, but if you get a knock, Shopify
Got
Rebellion
it.
end up helping with that, and that is huge, opening things up for Unlimit.
Oh my gosh. We're just kind of peeking through. The book has to grab another panic. I'm panicking.
Great patience from Exuvi as well.
Wah, mana bolanya?
Maggie Ball should finish off TSM in here. There has been a small reset. Maggie
Oh.
Drill going to do a
Wah.
lot of damage though. Subi taking the other side again, and TSM, who have long
Tuh kan
reign
yang
in the
ngendok.
north, will
Alah,
go
anjing.
down. Unlimit reset
Nggak tahu tuh
inside
dapat
this
poin
building.
tadi ya,
We've
tadi ya.
got Alcatsia. We've got Shopify Rebellion. And remember, with Alter still in this game, this wall basically doesn't
Shopify
exist for these two
Rebellion jadi
squads.
posisinya.
No, it really doesn't, but we're going to pretend it does for now. As we turn to Shopify Rebellion, they're going to likely swing onto Alcatsia. Thank God for the G7 scout for the mid-range, and pricey. I see the Kraber. We get it. This is what it looks like to be absolutely juiced on loot. And Unlimit full send onto Alcatsia. They get evicted, and we turn to the last draw.
It has to come down to that very same P2020 Kraber combination that we just saw, because Shopify Rebellion, they have all the space in the world. And in Apex, space means everything. Alcatsia try and get aggressive. It just does not work. Shopify Rebellion, they've got all the space in the world. They've got all the time in the world. And they have our first ever win on Olympus.
Well, Shopify Rebellion, welcome to the group stage. A weight that was massive, sitting on the shoulders, has been lifted. Sometimes we just wait for the first win of the group series that just unlocks everything. The celebration coming through. Zainu's like, yes, we
Anjir,
freaking
King
did
Ome
that.
lah.
And honestly, that's a stat to tout.
Itu kan gue lagi, teman gue lagi mampir.
This is
Gua
not a
gabut
win
Jir,
they
ngapain
casually
ya kata gua,
walked
Gal,
into.
ngapain
I
Gal,
really
kita
gotta
main
applaud
ML
Shopify
udah.
Rebellion, especially because we took the
Main
early
Omega
listen
kata
with
dia.
Hot Dog
Itu live-nya kan
Mafia
belum beres,
as they were
live-nya udah
attempting to
belum seinget gua apa
punish a
belum
Shopify
udah beres
Rebellion
ya?
that really had
Oh,
very
gua udah end
little
stream.
options. Once TSM started
Main
contributing,
Ome
though,
coba
Shopify
kata dia.
Rebellion took
Yaudah
that
main
inch
Ome
and they
anjing.
expanded it into a mile, helping take out
Masalahnya
Hot
gua
Dog
nabrak dia
Mafia,
4 kali.
and then slowly,
Kan habis
systematically
gitu
wiping
sekali
out
di skip,
every other
ngobrol
squad
bentar
left and
skip,
ripped.
And
3
look
skip,
at
nah
that.
yang keempat
12
lah ketemu
KP,
lagi gua.
12 placement points, a 24
Sampai minta
point
IG
game.
anjing. Ada fotonya juga di
Honestly,
gua.
solid performance out of ALGS Esports and Unlimit there with I think is a stellar game, 12 and 14 points. And you look at the rest of the lobby, right? We have 9, 8, 6 Riddle Order Falcons. That could have been a nice game for them as they were looking to work up the western side of things. It's just that pull towards TSM, it's tough, right? Because TSM finds themselves 4th overall with 6 points, but they only got 1 KP there. That's a costly. Anytime the zone comes to you, you've got to find opportunities to get kills, and they just couldn't do it.
I think it's a fantastic spot physically that they were in, but you can see how Shopify Rebellion, who did not have that blessing, had to work through a lot in order to get here, and that came with kills. So when you are in a bit of a safer spot, like you say, taking those extensions, taking up a lot of space, not letting Alcazia coexist with
Game
you
Apex
as an
yang bikin gue sih
example,
galak kocak.
can really be the difference between a Shopify Rebellion-like win and where TSM ultimately sat, which is not bad, still 6 points, but could have been a whole lot better given their position.
They were trying. We constantly saw on the map they were moving, looking for opportunities. It didn't come through. That's okay. 2 more on Olympus to make that happen. But the series results as they stand, Gen G Esports banking off the 2 wins, 57 points. Alcazia still remaining top 5. Shopify Rebellion, after a 24-point game, leaps up the leaderboard. And Unlimit, a lot of us talent team did protect them as a team to watch before this gameplay for ALGS Year 5 champs even started. And yeah, you know Don feeling good. Don feeling good about that. He's like, yeah, buddy, we did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic feeling for Shopify Rebellion, especially because they were one of the wonky teams yesterday. Onset and Gaskin were talking about this at the very end of the day, and it was an important thing to note that when we have an underperformance like this from Shopify Rebellion, the question doesn't become, oh, you know, like, what do we expect from this team? We're expecting the same thing. It's just about whether they can get there or not. That's the new challenge that they've set for themselves, and it is nice to see them achieving it, especially on Olympus, where so many variables come into play, especially around how teams are going to deal with the new map. We really see the Shopify Rebellion, they've got one standard strategy locked down, and if it didn't work for them yesterday, it is working today.
Plus the volatile map Olympus is, so it's just going to keep on moving, and I can't be more excited. Alcazia, they're falling a team. Falcons, kind of crazy, guys, but we still have 2 more maps on Olympus. Let's get into it after this break.
Galleria, the official PC partner of the ALGS Year 5 Championship.
Copyright guys, gue matiin dulu ya musiknya ya. Bentar doang nih Apex breaknya. Zack sayang, apa sayang Cibeng? Kenapa? Emang udah pulang? Bentar ya guys. Kan udah mau mulai kan, emang bentar guys Apex, tapi biasanya kalau di pertengahan game, pertengahan match kan, ini kan 6 match nih. Nah biasanya di 3 match itu kan dia ganti map tuh. Nah ganti map tuh dia lumayan lama istirahatnya, kayaknya sekitar 10-15 menit deh istirahatnya. Aduh gua nih si Imperial Hall guys.
From some teams, it's because for all the teams on stage right now, this is the last group stage match that they're going to play in the entire tournament.
Ooh, that's scary. I don't like thinking about that, because then that means we're that much closer to the bracket stages, that much closer to sending some of these players home who have spent the last year of their life putting everything into this. Do you know how many times we talk to players and they talk about the mental fortitude that it requires, the hours of scrims, the hours in the gym? I'm looking at Sykes right here. Dude's been grinding in the gym, working on not only that, because once you have your mental and your physical fitness in check, usually that translates into game, because you feel good, you play good.
Yeah, it genuinely translates really well. I mean, talk about things that you wouldn't have seen a couple of years ago. You wouldn't have seen people correlating in-game performance with fitness
important
outside the game. But it's really been helpful for a lot of these players, and you notice that as players continue to improve, as they continue to reach higher heights on the world stage, yeah, they start getting into the gym. And hey, if you do end up going home
Legend
tomorrow,
band
maybe go to the
Alter.
aquarium.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not
oh,
you.
oh,
Not
I was
the-
like,
the-
wow.
not you, the
Wow,
players.
bro. I just got banned from the caster booth. He evicting me out of here. Doesn't like what I'm doing anymore. You know what? Where's Graceful? Where's Graceful?
No,
I hear
no.
he's available.
Lock-in tip. We got
Fine.
game 2 of Olympus coming up. I need you.
Okay, we got this. I did see that the Legend ban was actually going to be Alter. So you think about the historical scrims performance, like usually who's going to be banned. It was typically Bangalore. Alter usually goes out after game 6, which really wouldn't matter for this 6-game series. So seeing Alter come through here, no more of those Void Passage building plays. So you're going to feel slightly safer in some of your homes, but this is very dependent on where we're going. A power grid, that's going to be really important for Alter. But let's say we go
Oh,
over to
jadi
the
sekarang
east,
udah
we
nggak
go back on
ini
to that
lagi ya,
Grow
udah apa sih?
Towers-esque ending, similar to where Liquid
Nggak
Alienware
random lagi
starts.
turunnya
You
ya?
got Gardens, that Shopify
PO
Rebellion.
Hydra
A
udah
lot of
balik
those
lagi
squads
berarti.
run into each other early on, but that's only if we stay maybe in that vicinity.
Yeah, the value of Alter was really evident in the last game, especially with us talking about how the wall between Power Grid and Rift basically became a formality. We saw Alcatia make their push off that. We saw Falcons make their push with Alter into Power Grid as well. The other legend that, of course, was super impactful last game was Valkyrie. completely changing the game, and that, at the very least, is going to stay with us. So the truth that you can rapidly relocate in a mid-game scenario that does not favor you, still going to be arguably the most important tool for these teams coming into Game 5.
Well, as we start with Shopify, wait, Men of Culture. We're not starting with Shopify. We're going back to the Men of Culture, who are the
First
men
blood kah?
of violence, floating on horizon.
Oh, ini
and
ada
you've got
orang ya?
Sparrow in the mix. The niche picks not going to start here. Yalari Man said, bro, get out of here. We don't even want to see you nearby us. You know, I almost said something. After watching so many hours of Wigs scrims, we gotta lock it in, baby.
Kasian,
Unlimits
anjir.
and Men of
Dua orang
Culture
doang deh.
packing. Not gonna give them another first strike. Instead, they take one for their own.
Yeah, this was a nice way for Unlimit to change the game. We talked about, rather, as I said, Jayhawk talked
Kemungkinan
ya
about
guys ya, itu yang
chance
dua
that
orang tuh
Unlimit
karena
would just go for these kills,
kendala
and
dari
quite
visa kalau
rightly
nggak
so
salah.
did they do that
Biasanya
in
ya,
our
biasanya.
second game. You get that much
Banyak
more
yang
aggressive
kendala visa
early
kan
when the
begitu.
3v2 is much more
Apalagi
apparent.
turnamen Apex, yang nggak Apex sih kayaknya.
Once you let people pick up
Harusnya yang
attachments
kayak
and
gitu
things
udah
like that,
diantisipasi
suddenly
ya masih
a 2v3 becomes very feasible, especially for a roster
Oh,
like
lumayan-
Men of Culture,
lumayan
and a
dekat nih
partial
ringnya nih.
roster at that. Our next
Yuk,
zone,
tim Falcon yuk,
however,
champion yuk.
going to be a
Aduh,
little
tadi
bit
keberapa
different.
posisi?
We
Ketujuh
are
ya?
heading
Iya, ketujuh.
back to the home
Tujuh.
of Genji in
Tujuh.
Oasis, which will
Siapa
unfortunately
setuju?
deny them the ability to play Edge.
Yo, this is actually gonna be crazy. Alcazia moving really
Wah,
quickly. They
Alcazia
play on
udah
the buildings
penuh
out
duluan.
behind Oasis, and they just get jumped on.
Dan
They sense
si
that. Genji says we
gila
cannot
juga ya
let
ini
a
yang
team
Asia.
live back
Ini
here
orang
because
Thailand
it
nih,
can
guys.
be difficult to push, right?
Sering
You leave
ini dia.
out Alter, but Crypto's still in play. We're going to
Sering
have
apa?
EMPs that are going to change
Ikut
the tides
ALGS.
of fights. Similarly, we saw it happen with this 5 Fears Cupid Esports
jago-jago sih
environment.
orang
But
Asia
that
sih.
Spitfire, it just keeps going.
Havoc in hand as well. Buffa 5th could do some work.
Oh.
Being right outside here, though, I wouldn't really take this fight to its conclusion. Cupid Esports already got what they would have liked, which is the singular kill, and now a little bit of safety for both 5 Fears and them. Could go a much longer way. They're going to get some important data around where the 2 remaining members of 5 Fears are, but they'll also know that Reignite is in the area, so it may be better not to push your luck.
It's tough because for Cupid Esports, they need as many points as they can get. But when you get into a desperate situation, sometimes, like you said, you can take fights that you don't need, and then other teams will say, we are
Wah,
pushing
perangka
on
ini,
this.
perangka,
Falcons
perangka,
grab
Falcon
that
sama
trident
Hotdog.
and immediately start
perangka,
sensing.
perangka.
You've got Waltzy dropping the EMP straight onto Hot Dog Mafia's face, and this opens the door for Hal, who said kills 2,000.
Nice banget.
That's the number he's seeking. It's just a number. We want the win.
Who's going to go down? Do we get another knock here? Likely so. They've actually taken the Trident for themselves, and Falcons can use that to chase down the duo. That really nice set him up, knock him down combination.
Dikejar
for the
anjing.
Falcons
Wah, dia
as
ngeret di
Waltzy's
situ.
walking right over Skittle as well. Will they end up finding him? Genji in yet another engagement. This time not going nearly as well. But
Genji
will
mending
go
goy.
down.
Nice.
S8
Sama Soul lagi.
being the ones to supplant them.
I'm okay with that push from Sharky. It's a dangerous situation to be back here in these open areas, but with Bangalore not getting banned, you've got the smokes, the ferrofluid coming down, and with Jesco, you've got Lou at the helm of this, and they have been rather tough to contend with in this series. Now, mind you, they're about 10 points shy of taking the leader from Genji.
I can't believe FaZe hit that nade and didn't push off of it. It's just it's incredibly difficult. Like the low amount of cover.
Nice.
Wait.
Menang ya warnya.
Wait, Cupid took down Reignite. Reignite was gaping even them. Falcons finish off Hot Dog Mafia, but I'm gonna check on that one later.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see Cupid and Reignite clashing. I know that Cupid saw this coming. Perhaps Reignite didn't have the necessary scouting. Virtus Pro going to be playing the south side right now. And honestly, it's not a terrible spot in Oasis. There aren't too many sightlines onto Virtus Pro right now. The real concern does have to be what S8UL do, how aggressive they get in the mid game. And Falcons will be approaching from the south as well, so maybe Virtus Pro will eventually think about that.
Yeah, historically, when it comes to Olympus in scrims, Falcons had really strong performances on the Stormpoint side of this series. That actually didn't happen here when it came to the main stage, so they're having to make up for it on the back half in Olympus. So knowing that I've seen wins come from them on Olympus, I was nervous for that first match number 4, but match number 5 can be the game changer. So pop into the drone, look for the information. We're going to have to deal with fire strays before we can focus on the move. And as they roll up a whole buffet on a Trident, let's go Walsey, crack those shields. Here comes the Bangalore ult, and we are expending all of the ultimates for this.
That wall, once again, going to be used defensively, but Falcons use it offensively, cutting the line for Fire Strays. So many nades raining down. It's like a pocket Gibby ult in here, but with Fire Strays playing the low ground, they will double swing up onto the height, holding hands, as Graceful would say, and moving up onto Falcons. They've done enough damage. The mechanics are there. Fire Strays could win this fight.
Well, taking back to 2023 and Fallout once said the enemy was the young gun prodigy, and now reunited alongside Crook. You throw
Wah, tim Liquid lagi perang juga nih.
And they've got to hold tight because the Falcons are formidable. Team Liquid Alienware, we've been waiting for a power series out of them, and right now they're turtled up in the middle of a Gibby ult, and I'm not feeling safe.
Pretty nice
pylons nice.
For now. Fire Strays end up
satu
getting
lagi.
Respawn, but it's unfortunate with
Let's
Crook
go.
having gone down
Itu
earlier.
dia loh
The
tim
numbers just
Falcon
aren't there, and
Imperial
Falcons
Hal.
are able to take the fight finish. Liquid
Wah, ini
Alienware
tim Liquid
perhaps about to win a fight
kayaknya
as
lagi
well.
nggak.
That's a happy fence. That's a happy fence. Sauce down throughout, and Sykes just off the back of the 2 knockdown shields. Just a mere half a second gets it.
Itu resnya yang biru bukan ya?
Come through this, but
Aduh.
Baxlon says, I accept the
Maju
challenge,
lagi, anjir, dia
and
mati lagi.
Sykes denies it.
How many times are we going to swing Sykes right now? Gets the shield
You know
swap,
what?
goes
Try
for
it
the res again. He should get 0 up. Surely Rock don't come back for this.
There it is. Oh my god, we're just hanging in there. We can't let them reset. I mean, it's going to be tough to get Funk back into it when you've got so many teams looking at you. And despite that, Rock does get the reset.
Enak
They're
nih tim
safe
Falcon nih,
inside
dari
the
bawah
building,
tuh,
but
masuk.
not for long. Look
Moga
at
aja nggak
where
diganggu
we've
ya.
got to go. I'm waiting for this circle to collapse because for the majority of our teams that are inside that next circle, Dia, we are all on top of each other.
Yeah, and the outside's so sparse as well. Unlimit over at Hammond. 5 Fears and Cupid could run into each other at Terminal. 5 Fears have actually been playing pretty aggressively in this game. We remember their fight with Reignite earlier. Falcon's going to be coming from the south side as well. So the whole estate's crossing is almost certainly going to result in some engagements. I'd like to see Falcons continue to play the south side over here.
Dua orang tim Indo, satunya orang Australia.
Absolutely have to, but
lagi nggak main.
when it comes to the center,
besok main
I mean,
lagi.
I like Rock's position, Virtus Pro,
Nah, kan tim Falcon
SAUL, they've all
masuknya.
got good spots.
Ooh, there's a reset. Welcome back, Funk. So here's the deal. I hate where Team Falcons are rotating in from. You have to drop on down. You've got the zip, the open grass. It's just going to be difficult because you do have Rock Esports on that high ground, VP out in the back, and they're all going to be staring at them.
I'm really surprised Liquid Alienware got this Valk ult off to get them to the outside. I mean, it does free up a little bit of space inside of Oasis that Rock should be able to make use of, especially with the amount of pressure they were applying to Liquid earlier. But it gives us another question, right? With all the teams that we saw approaching from the south side, that seems to be where we're going to get the most action. Liquid Alienware now have to rotate in from the north, and that's where
Kenapa harus sangat 7, guys?
This is interesting. Do you hate fighting in these buildings as much as I do? Because now it's isolated, and Shopify Rebellion taking on TSM. A couple nades to start investing some of that brunt damage. But Shopify, they feel confident after that end game. They Cupid Esports, this is back towards the south. Unlimited on the other side, and they are just burning through and through. Yulari, man, great for getting that bat off. This is what Valk allows you to do. You can be so evasive and hard to track down, and you just keep popping from different angles. And with Peace really using the bang ult to section things off, you could almost turn this fight around, which they have.
Yularman's Maggie drills have been really clutch for the team today, applying crazy pressure, especially in their game on Storm Point over at Wall, and now bringing them into what is currently a 4th place in the lobby on Olympus. I'm going to call it 1.5 games left to go, so we'll see how far they can push this. Unlimit do have the high ground here. Not a bad spot, but unfortunately they've just got a lot of pressure on them. Cupid Esports and 5 Fears both in the area. Sometimes when you're on the high ground in the middle, you draw a little too much attention to yourself.
I have the high ground. Do not look at me, but they will, especially when you've got a couple of different people that still have frag grenades in their back pocket. Ooh, and they're hunting. They're like, oh, do you see him? He literally just popped up for a brief second, and they immediately attack him. They don't get the knock, but we're trying to line up the riot drill if we possibly can.
Not going to end up canceling that. Instead, just letting the riot drill fly loose. I will note real quickly, we saw it in the map in the upper left corner, Liquid Alienware have rolled a Mythic crate, so we'll see what that looks like for them. TSM and Shopify Rebellion hate coexisting in this building.
Wah,
Panic
mau
has something to
ngeflank
say
ya,
about it.
ngeflank ya.
We'll see how this drop down on the other side goes. Do Shopify Rebellion see it coming? It looks like they did, but Panic
Sabar,
holds
sabar,
off
sabar.
just in time.
Okay, make sure that you go in as healthy
Aduh.
as possible. He dive on down, the chow from Zap, and we have to dive into the void to get out of there. Take too
Oke,
much
Gil
damage
dapat
on
kill
this
ya.
Dupe.
Nice banget.
Oh, Dupe, the Gent.
Nice,
We fall
Imperial
through
Hall
that
dapat kill
angle.
juga. Wah, farming nih
Two
Falcon nih.
locked in.
Udah 9 tuh total tuh kayaknya. Iya, udah 9
Koi with
kill.
a single alternator bullet.
It's a really difficult fight, and TSM, unfortunately, being the aggressors here,
Tadi
not
ada
able
Watson
to
ya?
enter the
Si
building.
SR ya.
Had a lot to deal with in terms of pressure from the outside, limited angles they could play, and it doesn't go well for them. Unlimit, however, unleashed onto Cupid Esports, will take their aggression from Estates and move it on over here to the nice road that they've found. A good rotation in if they want to try and challenge Shopify Rebellion, but not everybody wants to challenge Shopify Rebellion.
Not after last game, especially when they were in the final three with ALGS. They saw what happened. Instead, they chose ALGS. So we kind of keep on moving through this. Falcons, though, what have they been up to? Let's hit a quick replay with them.
Nice. Enak guys, Bangalore. Dia bisa ngancurin pintu dia sekarang smoke-nya. Cepet
Yeah,
banget
we
tuh.
saw that. Five Fears, they just got eviscerated. Another reset coming in. TSM, they're down in the corner. You can see Panic has already tried to rotate through. They were nearby Shopify Rebellion, who had just taken them down, causing them pain and suffering, and Koi doesn't even have to do anything. The ring does enough.
Unfortunately, we are late enough in the game that this ring is unforgiving. Shopify Rebellion have effectively won the fight for this side of the zone, and TSM's death is more of an eventuality than anything else. Gent's gonna go down, and TSM will fall, even as they hit an unfortunately timed respawn. 11 squads left. Liquid Alienware want to move us down to 10. Fighting up against Rock. P2020's in hand. Zero looks for the last couple of shots. We've seen a clutch from Rock before. Will they end up pulling it off once again? It looks like no, as they will at least escape with their lives. Liquid Alienware get this building and pick up a little bit of KP, but have to look carefully. Oh my god, Zero!
Zero's looking. He's out for blood. Too bad.
Anjir,
Rock
untung
Esports
portalnya
has
nggak
already been
nyasar.
taken out, but he's just making sure that they are not
Ambil
surviving
portal.
here. And
Aduh,
congrats to your
Falcon,
new
please.
building.
Ya ampun.
And Shopify, let's get in there.
Ya Allah, Falcon. Aduh.
We want to hold the spot. We want to hold the spot we can. Zap, get in Vizier. Go in Vizier. Drone behind us. Go in Vizier. Drone behind us. We'll start walking up. We have to listen. We're going to hold this team far. Go for my ping on the bottom left, and we're going to get Jen down there, okay?
I got this team here. They might wrap us.
Zap, give me B.
Yes.
They got content.
Yeah, I'm letting her
Ya
One guy.
ampun.
I got team northeast here.
Yeah. Listen, we need to hold the team that was shooting the Falcons, okay? That's it. That's all we need to worry about.
Team, back on bonus.
Okay. Fine. I don't think there's anyone up there anymore.
Tadi dapat berapa kill? 10 kayaknya ya. Aduh, tapi placementnya 10.
We're not in there. I mean, we have to kill them, guys. Come to me now.
I bingo.
Let me set drone. Let me get close to
Okay, come here. Get a drone here. Boy's gonna bang out them, and we have to kill them. Okay, bro, get up. Try to like smoke up to that coin, bang out them from there, okay? Smoke across there. Step, get DMP, okay? Okay, coin bang out soon.
Mana? Aduh.
And with the ring at their back, they have to keep barricading forward straight into Unlimit. They were inching closer to VP. They were chasing that power position that they had, and instead now have the prior match winners at their back. Koifel down, Zainu down. We're just looking for the remaining member. And they're so healthy doing it.
Yeah,
VP's gonna come look at this.
Unlimit's defensive game is so good, and like you talk about, with VP so close, it's important that Unlimit are able to watch their angles, keep an eye on the most pressing threats, because right now it's the thing that is keeping Unlimited in the game and moving them even further up. Just taking a little bit of poke at the remaining members of now Riddle Order. Shopify Rebellion going to be in that corner as well. Phase fall in the meantime, and there is still crazy pressure being put out by Larman.
Well,
Si
for now,
Liquid kemana
Unlimit's going
pindahnya?
to live there. VP
Oh, di bangunan
will be
sebelahnya
just
ya?
ahead of
Iya,
them
sorry,
on
sorry.
that north. Zap does look to rat for those placement points if we can make it happen. Riddle will likely suss them out, but Fnatic, they chow the north side. They go down. Colonel Garcia, Yuka, and Libelace, they're going to have to hold on. And sometimes when your back's against the wall, you try to stick a res. You already have the fences down, but SAUL in a 3v1 position. The standoff is real. They're just going to hop on Yuka.
If there is one thing
Anjir,
everyone
dari
should
placement
learn from
keberapa tadi?
yesterday,
Oh,
you do
ke-10 ya
not
tadi?
push a defensively placed SAUL.
Shopify.
This team is so good at locking down an area. It is what brought them success in APAC South, and it is what is bringing them success here in the World Championship. Right now, helping escort Fnatic out. It's a tough end for Fnatic. Still got pretty far in the lobby, up to top 7, but now we are approaching the end game, and everyone in Oasis is going to have to exit Stage West. That was a weird way
Stage
to say
West?
that.
Stage left?
Valkyrie
Are going to be the only team still in there. Virtus Pro can actually share space with them.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm really
Valkyrie.
curious to see whether Unlimited and Virtus Pro choose to coexist with each other.
Who are they going to full send? Riddle's already popped an ult as well. Everyone's getting the information of what's going to be available for them. And are they dropping? Where are we heading?
I don't think you can land
I-
on Riddle.
Don't know how
Lah,
many brain
kenok ya
cells
itu
we
ya?
have on that because it's
Oh,
you
iya,
get the
kenok.
information,
Enggak
but
deh.
there's not a lot of playable space. It's all in the open. You need the smokes. You've got the pylons. You need a lot of that.
That's SAUL in the sky right now, trying to find a landing spot. Riddle Order keeping their building safe right now. The roof all theirs. Liquid Alienware's landing did not go well. Seriale punished them immediately. And that's Seriale playing out of the center of Bonsai. Not a squad in a safe spot either.
Nggak
Well, I
nemu
mean,
spotnya sih emang si
It's going to
Liquid.
be a tough little journey here. You have to destroy the fences. You've gotten the stairs. You have a team below you, a team across from you, and the ring is pushing you forward straight back to the lobby. And look at the receipt of the kill feed. Sorale joined them as well for VP and a limit. They've been here.
Unlimited
They've
enak
taken
ya
their
posisinya.
power position, and SAUL, they have the other side.
SAUL did really well there. However, they used a Catalyst ult to keep Virtus Pro and Unlimit from looking at them, meaning they
Oh,
don't
menang
have
ini mah.
that
Unlimited.
key cooldown for the next few minutes. Unlimit choose to take this time to move on to Lou, weakening Virtus Pro. Do SAUL take the bait? Do they end up committing to the fight?
But you need to stay healthy here, and I love that we have the Valk in the back with the bow check.
VP out.
VP's down, but SAUL, they are healthy, they are poised, and they have the time to pounce on this. They're not finding a weak Unlimit. They're strengthened, and they're looking for the top of the leaderboard.
3v3 right now, and Unlimit have really prepared themselves, and unfortunately, SAUL cannot stay defensive. They need to be popping ult excels right now. Everything is going to come down to the wall cooldown. If there's a cat wall, they might win. If not, Unlimit should have this.
Well, also, does SAUL
Butuh
have their
catwall
bangle?
maksudnya.
That's another question.
Suppose we'll find out. No Valk ult for Unlimit, we know that. See what Exuvi's able to do. If he can open something up, that would be great. Remember, Maggie Drill is going to be really important as well, especially for denying angles, ways to swing. For right now,
Kayaknya ada ulti deh,
SAUL have this
Catalyst.
cover, but the zone is very soon going to deny them that little leisure.
Still trying to hold an angle if they can. Maybe weaken with the Riot Drill. There goes the wall. You were
Nice.
asking about it, and immediately the cross comes through. We start investing the G7 straight through a couple sky grenades. Wait, a couple?
Oi!
We had 8!
Ooh, 100 banger! But they can't
Oh,
push through the
86.
wall just yet. SAUL have the time to heal up on the other side of this. Nobody from Unlimit wants to get too close. Yularaman, the one who's going to have to open things up. Watch the ball cool down. Just making sure that SAUL don't play the low ground. They find out they're on height, and Yularaman going to
Aduh,
swing
Unlimited.
up, but
Iya benar
Exuvi's
kalah
already down.
Unlimited.
He's down. We're going to have to answer
Iya,
on back.
kalah.
We use the Maggie Ball. There it is.
Ada
the
Maggie
point.
Ball ya?
But can we pop the bat here and stay
Aduh.
healthy through their bangle? The pop comes
Aduh.
through. We hop onto the high ground. So much
Yularaman's
flutter,
crazy.
and they're holding steady, holding throughout. It's all on the
Oh,
back.
1v1.
Yularaman, there it is.
Anjir,
And
menang.
Unlimit, they take the map.
Gila, keren.
Monster!
My God.
Wah, tadi
Unlimited
Maggie Ball-nya
to the
tuh
win.
membalikan
It
keadaan
seems
tuh.
so doomed! But the heroes of APAC North here at the World Championship, they stay on top. Incredible clutch in the end game against a very, very high-performing SAUL.
It's interesting when you see the celebrations and then you immediately pan on over to SAUL, who had the time, they had the resources, the abilities, they're managing of it. A true 3v3 for the win. And when they do it in style, man. 18 kills,
Wah, 18 kill.
6,200
Iya, tadi tuh
damage.
dia satu tempat
Oh my God,
sama kayak Shopify
That
sama
is the
si
kind of Unlimited
Imperial Hal.
that everyone across the world wanted to see here in Sapporo. The kind of Unlimit that dominated APAC North in the regular season. this was a fantastic way for our 5th game to come to a close. We still have another one up on Olympus, but to me, this has answered a really important question already, and that was, are Unlimit going to be able to be the monsters that they were regionally when we come to international competition of this caliber? And the answer resoundingly off of this game is yes. 30-point game is a fantastic place to be.
Yes. Yes, but the fact that S8UL grab a 20 bomb across the board as well, so I'm still loving what I'm seeing. We know how close the top of the leaderboard was. I'd imagine we're seeing a switch up after a 30-point game from Unlimit. However, VP, who's been very strong, walk away with 10. Now, this kind of numbers at the top leads no one else to make any moves, really. Liquid Alienware, Shopify Rebellion, and even Surale there, they're going to be your next highest point totals.
I got unfortunately no points for everybody at the bottom. We
got nothing. We got nothing for you.
I gave too many of them away. I mean, again, incredible performance. Ularman 9 kills in this match. Really clutched things up. We saw an incredible holdout from Liquid Alienware. I really liked the fact that they were able to hold against Rock in the initial fight and then come back, take revenge on them. But there is a reason that you are seeing Yulariman show up twice, and even Peace showing up with the assists. Even an S8UL, who I would argue was academically performing at the top of their game in this round on Olympus. You can't stand toe-to-toe with the mechanics, with the prowess of Unlimit.
Did someone have Unlimit predicted for this series? Why do I feel like they did? No? No? They should have.
So. I don't think
so. Because I'm still at the top and I'm going to stay there.
Kira-kira legend terakhir yang di ban.
Rain Day did.
I didn't want to know that.
Kayaknya
oh
bang.
my gosh, production? Okay, we see you, Rain Day. I'm coming for you on the next series. I got you. But regardless, a great performance. With that being said, and now Yulariman and Exuvi, they're in the top 5 fraggers of our lobby. However, it's Slayer still at the top with 15, Dia.
Huh.
A true Slayer.
Yeah.
A true Slayer.
Slayer's been performing. It's impressive.
Slayer doing slaying.
Do you think we get bonus points for having Unlimit both as our team to watch coming to this tournament, or do you think that doesn't matter anymore? I guess we didn't predict them today, so it's like
that's
missed the
true.
train.
We're just chopped because did you pick Falcons?
I did pick Falcons, yeah.
Yeah, we're shills.
I picked Falcons before it was cool. That's a joke.
I changed my prediction. I won't tell you what the first one was, but I changed within 10 seconds. So kind of tough, all right?
I'm gonna interrogate you about it later.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We've got more important questions to answer right now, especially with the final game of Olympus coming up. We've already seen some incredible rounds. I love that we got the Unlimit victory here. And now to see, I mean, we saw the first couple of games go Shopify's way. Now Unlimit, 2 big games. Maybe Olympus is just the map where we get the biggest wins.
Look, it's my favorite map so far. I'm having a blast casting, and I know Lace is off screen, maybe in the fan zone, also having a blast. So let's check in with her.
It's Lace here, back in the fan zone, and speaking of fans, I am in front of the fan art wall where, you know, you at home could submit your beautiful artwork here and have it showcased to everyone. If we have a look, there's some beautiful, beautiful crafted things behind me here, but I think one of my favorite ones has to be the pixel art. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Caustic, and a lot of you guys would know that as well, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So, of course, if you are here for the ALGS Sapporo, make sure you come down to the fan zone and check it out.
Thank you so much, Lace. I know Dia and I, we like to walk around the stadium before it's open to the public and just kind of soak in the ambience. And honestly, we checked out that area in the fan zone with all the artwork. We pass over the ballistic with the ducky float and go straight to Caustic?
Yeah. I know. I was surprised. I thought she was heading in the correct direction.
I thought so too.
You know, for me, Katie Secret's ballistic with the floaty, that is some top tier Apex Legends content.
I think we should throw it in the Louvre.
In the Louvre?
Yeah. Did I say that right? Oh my God, I took like
no,
10 years of French and I was like, did I just botch that live? Because that would totally happen to me.
You nailed it. I mean, if we go to France, I'm sure that they'd have problems with it, but for right now, it's okay. And
we probably would, but good thing we're in Japan, and good thing we're having a great time. A couple other things over there in the fan zone. They've got the Nessie origami. There's a ton of food that we can smell from here. I know Glitter was talking about some of the street food style of things. I just need to take a ton of money over there and sit by myself and just eat.
I have to take my half-finished origami Nessie and ask somebody to teach me how to finish it, because right now I have 3 triangles and no idea what to do with them.
That's okay, because maybe we see that finish. I know another thing that we're looking on finishing is the series on Olympus. Our first time seeing it here in a competitive environment. I don't know, chat, those of you at home watching, I know the hours are a little crazy, but I'd be so curious to hear your thoughts on what Olympus has been like. Of course, you've probably seen it in scrims, but it does not matter. Scrims, at the end of the day, are just a way to practice some of those rotations and see what legend compositions that you're feeling the most comfortable when it comes to Olympus. Now, I didn't catch which legend would be banned after match number 5, did you?
I'll check.
Oh, yes, Dia. Thank you so much for providing me the information that I so desperately like.
Crypto.
Ooh, okay. I like this, because how many of our pushes have been off the back of an EMP? Looking at Falcons in particular, Walty likes to open it up, but you dive back to match number 4 with Shopify Rebellion Koi. We got the comms of their endgame fight. He says we want to take space, we pull back, but he's waiting for Zap to drop the EMP straight onto their face, and they immediately tear them up.
I mean, it's another cooldown that just becomes really important. We were talking so much about the Catalyst wall in last game, but for 99% of teams in 80% of scenarios, these are just numbers that I'm making up.
Oh, ini tuh Zexal yang katanya join ALGS.
Nonton
kocak, watch party. Pro player
Well,
memang
you know what's going to be ended in an
Iya,
instant is the fact that we have a battle at the top. Genji currently situated 1 point away from Unlimit, who's in first place. Think of how massive this would be for them. They've had nice moments through the group stages, but to get here on the main stage, take that win,
gitu, gua
when
tahu
we know what the cutoff is
ini
at
pasti
90
pro player
points. You know, give or
remote
take, we
dari
think that's
jauh
kind of a
buat
nice
player
number that would be
cadangan
safe to grab
nge-carry.
yourself in the winner's bracket for our bracket stage tomorrow. And then we have Virtus Pro. Now,
Itu kan
I'm looking at
turnamennya
Slayer,
LAN
I'm
ya.
looking at Luke,
LAN
and I'm
ya.
looking at
Mana
MT.
bisa
I had a
masuk
chance to work
kocak.
the Red Bull Legends in just, I believe, what, a month and a half ago in Chicago, back in the States. MT was there competing, and I got to speak. Dude, he locks in. That guy is stone cold. Sometimes he scares me. I don't know if that's the Australian in him, but that just goes to show you he comes in here and he's honestly one of the nicest people. But knowing there is no room for niceness when it comes to this game, you have to be aggressive in your pushes, you have to get locked in, and you have to decimate all of the competitors, especially in the final match of your series.
Now that we have Crypto eliminated, I am noticing a lot of Seer showing up, a lot more than we had before. Another very punishing legend to go up against, especially when he's able to hit his tactical with the slow and the stun that comes in. It may not be the all-purpose Crypto EMP that can AoE win you a fight, but it certainly can shut down and isolate one member, and that snowballs pretty darn quickly. Keep your eyes out for Seer, and especially if they are running it, as I expect they are, Shopify Rebellion, who have actually been playing a very good game of Seer so far. Once again, Unlimit are going to drop on top of the
Falcon
Men of
kelima ya,
Culture.
oke lah ya, ini nggak bisa ke satu sih Falcon
Turns
sih.
out, although it is a 2v3,
Kecuali
so
kalau menggila champion
there are
kill
limited options.
15 ke atas.
The limits do not exist to the high ground with peace. We got an Ironside R301, and I'm feeling comfy with it, especially after that massive performance. So use what you've got. Oh, okay.
Got a good angle. But floating, TMC are playing well, just holding hands right now.
Across the
Dikasih
door,
poin mulu,
underneath.
anjir.
They took down Peace. But now with a riot drill, he's gonna let it burn, force them to maneuver, and we take it to the sky because Men of Culture still rocking the horizon. We find floating. We just did the last one, but wait, whoa. This is a big deal because the top of the leaderboard is all riding on 1 point. It's riding on Jalari, man, in this moment, and you would think it would be clean. What?
Not even close.
Why was that
2 orang
close?
doang
Yeah,
itu.
not-
Dikasih
Sir,
poin
I
mulu,
am
anjir ini.
panicking.
Our Red Bull first strike, I think, maybe a little bit more iffy, yeah, than Unlimit would have expected. But that is what you get when going up against Men of Culture. Not a squad to roll over by any means. And again, gonna be really terrifying when they have all 3 players.
And I look at the circle too, and I'm like, do you know how costly
Aduh,
that
ringnya
is?
jauh
If they
lagi.
lose that, and you see that it's really just across the way
Nggak
where
mabar
Men of Culture
Apex, Bang.
starts, Summers
Emang
University, Hot Dog
mabar
Mafia in a
siapa?
power position,
Sama
Alcazia moving in
siapa?
relatively quickly. Liquid Alien, we're getting gifted this, but also Shopify Rebellion. Gen G at Oasis, they got a long haul.
It's really, really good thing that Unlimited didn't lose that fight, because then the top of the leaderboard would be gone. Seriale for the finish. Nice job.
It's VP though. They're the ones at the top of the leaderboard. They're in second with 60 points, tied with Gen G. We can't afford to lose MT here. Now, I didn't see necessarily what led to that, but I know that they're still looking for the remnants of Virtus Pro, Slayer and Lou. Well, you know, Lou's just taking a nice little stroll.
Now here's the really nice thing if you are Virtus Pro, and that is that we don't have a lot of cryptos in the lobby.
True.
So most people are going to struggle a little bit more to hit a survey beacon from distance. The exception is going to be teams like TSM. Running Sparrow, you do have the ability to sort of remotely hit the survey beacons and get information on where everyone is. But even that, with the 50-50 that we're seeing between Sparrow and Seer, is going to give you a lot more breathing room as Virtus Pro, who is hoping to make their reset in Gravity Engine.
We'll also see a lot of those Valkolds come through to give them information more towards the late game. It's very similar to what we had when we had that back Oasis endgame, and it's going to be exceptionally powerful when you have the teams moving from the west, from Power Grid like TSM, that are going to be trying to get on out, but they actually don't have Valk. You're right. They have Sparrow. I do love that though.
Yeah. Sparrow really, really good in endgame scenarios.
Tadinya gua mau ajakin mabar, cuman PC gua lagi rusak. Aduh, semangat ya, GWS buat PC-nya mana? Yang rusak apanya sih tuh? Prosesornya ya?
Reignite, tanking what they can, but they're staying healthy through it. Now, of course, the G7 scout for the mid-range to cover on through. The Falcons, they would like to get in on this. It's Waltzy that's going to be credited with some of the KP from this fight, which forces the pacing of them here.
As Reignite finish Cupid, Falcons are actually pretty safe. We know that there were 3 squads involved in this engagement, but Falcons have their backs to the edge of the map. And so they know that nobody can come up behind them. The fear of a third party is really assuaged, and they just have to hold off Reignite for the moment. The problem is that for both these squads, they do need to move significantly further east as we're going towards Summers University and Grow Towers.
And as I look at it, of course, with the crypto ban, you think, what is Waltzy going to do, right? They lock in, they've got the Gibby, and we keep on seeing all of our teams on the northern side. TSM moved, Fnatic moved, and they moved straight into Shopify.
Virtus Pro have made their recovery. We did wonder how that would go earlier. Now they are back up as a full 3-person squad down in Bonsai Plaza. Well, Fnatic still have to deal with Shopify Rebellion, who unfortunately are not making this crossing easy. Gravity Engine kind of a maze, but Fnatic are navigating it well to at least not go down. There are a couple squads in this area that we talked about. Shopify Rebellion, TSM are showing up at the same time. So Fnatic, I think, would like to get out of this POI as soon as possible. Their exit into Gardens could not have come any sooner.
Nggak tahu benar-benar mati total, gak bisa dinyalain.
Keep on moving. I'm sure Shopify is going to look to try and cut them off if they can, but it should be safe into Grow Towers if we can make that happen. For Fire Strays, 9 points on the series.
Lagi
this is
dibenerin kan,
a
tapi
do or
sekarang
die scenario when it comes to salvaging points for this. Knowing that we need about 90 points to solidify ourselves into that winner's bracket. They've had some nice performances in other grouping matchups, but to feel confident and make sure that you hit the 90, I want at least 30.
I would imagine that's their comfort zone as well. I don't know how FYR Strays are going to continue dealing with this, as already group stage has been very swingy for them. This is a roster that, I mean, when they're on, much like Gen G, when they're on, they are going to slay every single team in the lobby. And when they can't quite get the momentum going, you see that it nets them a little bit lower on the leaderboard. Now, Hot Dog Mafia being right under them could be exactly what Fire Strays are looking for. Although, I wouldn't be too confident going up against Hot Dog Mafia if you don't get the drop on them. If you don't get a one clip, they've been a very good fighting squad.
And honestly, I saw Rambo this morning, and he said he was feeling really good. So you come in.
You know what Rambo has changed today? I was listening to their comms earlier. Rambo's being really good about letting Alberlele know exactly when he needs to look at the map. He's calling out ring pops, which is an underrated thing. Is just keeping your IGL on top of the next task that they have to do. It's a small thing, but I really appreciated it when I popped into their comms this morning.
Do you know why I think that they're doing that? I feel like Alb was talking about specifically when he has to manage not only IGLing, but also like the mechanical ability of fighting, and sometimes it can be a lot, and if Rambo is doing that, hey, maybe that's working. But as we look towards where that next circle is, of course, Hot Dog Mafia, a team that we're talking about right there in the center, just kind of off Stray. Team Falcon still carving their path through the south, straight into Fire Strays, which we were talking about that cutoff. Guess where they lay? 21st. So this is very important for them.
Yeah, this game is massive. The last game of these teams' group stage. Everything that they need for seeding. We'll see how Fire Strays are able to do right now, as ultimately they are going to be kind of at the mercy of the other squads that play later today as well. It's funny looking at this map though, I go, oh, who else would be in dead center of zone but SAUL?
Yeah,
Wah,
yeah,
tim
actually,
Falcon
that's
masuk tuh.
not bad. Fnatic, though, we saw them kind of dealing
Aduh.
with Shopify Rebellion, and they
Iya,
ran
lagi
off through
coba
Gardens.
klaim
They
garansi
nestled into
kena
that next
unit.
circle.
Oh,
But when you
iya, iya.
have the Falcons who just jettisoned themselves into the circle in between multiple teams, we saw them
Semoga
take
aja
a
nggak
ton of
lama
damage.
ya
The
klaim
reset
garansinya.
comes
Biasanya
through.
klaim
We'll
garansi
check in
lumayan
with them
lama,
in a bit
tergantung
because
dari
there's still
ininya.
so many teams on the outskirts, and Reignite
Gua kemarin
over
klaim
by
garansi
Terminal have some of the
monitor aja
heavy-hitting
lumayan
teams
lama
fighting
tuh.
for the top of the leaderboard, like Gen G across the way and Unlimit ahead of them.
Shopify Rebellion and Riddle Order perhaps about to clash over at Gardens as well. As you mentioned,
Berapa ya
Unlimit
total?
going
Kayaknya
up
5
against
hari deh
FaZe.
kan.
Started that fight off
Sehari
really well.
berangkat.
Yeah, they've
Total
already
sih
got
3
nags.
hari sih,
We
3
have
hari.
a moment.
5
They're
hari tuh
waving
kayak
the white flag. They're grabbing
bener-bener udah di
evac
rumah
tower,
lagi gitu.
get some more nades. How
Sehari
many times does
berangkat,
Unlimit go into an
3
endgame
harinya di
situation with at
sana,
least
nah
12
hari
nades?
kelimanya
This
ngambil
is
habis
why
itu langsung
Yulari
pakai.
man looking for a couple hundred bangers if he can get them. Smokes for the cover, and now you look towards VP in the back. They're going to be the third party you don't want to that engagement.
VP pretty silent about this as well. Fnatic, they already took down one of the members of Hot Dog Mafia earlier. Hot Dog Mafia sitting center zone do have the ability to recover, but Fnatic are really trying as much as they can to put out poke. Not so much so they get kills, but more so that they get Evo. They're currently at blues, but when the zone is coming to you, you need the extra Evo to unlock perks that ultimately will win you the end game.
Well, we talked about the importance of this series for Fire Strays. Alcadzia as well. They're situated 23rd on the group stage leaderboard coming into this, and they want to get into the top 20. So a powerful performance here will give them that. For Riddle, who've still been working to maneuver their way through the north, have found TSM.
Good defensive setup for Riddle. They actually have the advantage in this fight, weird as it may seem, because they're on low ground, because Riddle have the head peak and not a whole lot of other teams that can look at them. The one team that you saw firing at them from afar is 5 Fears. 5 Fears who are just outside of Humbert Labs and have rolled themselves a mythic crate right now. If that is a Kraber, things could go poorly for Riddle Order. But outside of that, I actually really like Riddle Order's spot.
You know, a Kraber on Olympus is effectively a cheat code for the end game with how wide open things can be. Now, I'm curious, does TSM decide to peek Riddle? No, the patience is there. Panic, gonna hide behind some of these boulders. You see that we've already had Dupe kind of fence some things off in the background. But one of these teams, both of them actually, have to move. Time is of the essence, and there's a couple of teams that are looking to make a power play onto this if they can.
Taking a look at the map right now, we're just going to identify some of the areas that, of course, like Riddle Order and TSM, could explode into action. Noticing SAUL will realize they are not inside the zone during the next ring pop. The south side, around where FYR Strays are and Unlimit, is going to be a really noisy area of the map. And of course, Reignite and Gen G almost certainly going to fight. In fact, it looks like they might be fighting right now.
Get me into it. We'll check in with them in just a second because S8UL, who are basically the gatekeepers of this area in the north, we go. It's unleashing. It's for the win for Gen G and Asia. A little power boost across the way, and he goes down. The trades come through, and Rezi still trying to take a different angle. A little right drill. He's got the high ground, and Ziki. Ziki can't make it happen, and Gen G have fallen to Reignite. That is going to make the top of the leaderboard look all that much better for Unlimit and VP.
And we get the res off just in time, but Rohai hasn't had time to heal up just yet, and we are moving into the solo from FaZe Clan, who actually could take somebody with him. Firing away. It actually takes someone down. Reignite have two very weak members right now, but a shield bat will save them. Cinetic
Gak beri
trying to get
nanti paling
away,
habis
has
ini ya.
already
Gak tau
lost
nih kalau
Mags,
capek
and is
mungkin
moving right,
diundur lagi
unfortunately,
deh kayaknya.
into
Tapi kalau nggak capek langsung
SAUL.
stream sih abis
Five
ini.
Fears and FaZe will go down almost at exactly the same time, moving us to the top 15 squads. Placement points starting to be accumulated right now,
Wah,
and
swingnya
Reignite have
kenapa?
managed to
Wah.
hold on to theirs, although they do still lose a member.
Look at Zero.
Team Liquid ini.
Look at Zero as he wraps around, and Virtus Pro. We're here. We've got an
Beda
angle.
lagi.
Let's get in on the comms.
Oh nyebrang itu ya, Liquid ya?
Kill him. No, Maggie just one. Maggie just one. It's one guy.
Oh bukan itu untuk mafia anjir.
It's one guy. Knockdown. Rank it, I got him. I got my kill. I got back. Our gen is still up.
Yeah.
I got purple. We can back out here.
Yeah, we might want to, honestly.
I'm going forward to our gen, okay? Hella people are fighting right now.
Talk about spots. We can talk about spots. I want to look this game drop.
Remember when I DC'd that one time under the staircase here?
Yes, that spot's good. That
That
spot's
spot's
good.
really good.
Flying. Falc.
They're fighting on the right too, bro. They're fighting in deep summers.
I'm grabbing this. Is there a team here? I'm not seeing any picking.
They might have went up to third or something. We still need to hold our back though, kinda.
Not really.
Bro, they're
Should we get
hard
in?
fighting deep summers.
Yeah, can we walk up? Can we walk
grab
up?
everything.
Yeah. Is this team down here? Because
Team in here still. I don't know.
This loop.
Share this
I'm
loop.
walking up here. I don't know if there's anybody in here.
Okay.
They are. I can't tell though.
Yeah, they're in there. Here. Come back up to us.
Team in here.
Matt.
Team in
We
here.
have a really good
We
rep.
get Valko and land down here. This spot's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The low ground here. Really good. Really good.
They're just fighting me in back in the map right now. God spot.
Can we walk up on it? Is there a team just sitting here though? Yeah.
Virtus Pro have noticed it. Unlimited and Fire are fighting at exactly the same time. They do not know that it is those two squads, but we see him showing up at the kill feed right now. Unlimited staying on top of the fight, but just at the nick of time, Shopify Rebellion come in and take out the first place squad.
Well, now if you're VP, this is looking really nice because you're just a point shy of the top of the leaderboard, and they identified the fight. They're pacing themselves to make sure that when they move into this, they are healthy because Shopify Rebellion, they're not. They need a reset, but they don't need Team Liquid Alienware and Falcons moving straight in.
Shopify Rebellion were very close to first place in the group as well. Right outside the group of those three squads, Unlimited, Virtus Pro, and Gen G that dominated the top of the leaderboard. Liquid Alienware, Falcons still looking for their spot in zone where Hot Dog Mafia are currently in the center of. We still got Virtus Pro in here as well, and Riddle on the roof.
Riddle on the roof is going to be difficult for these teams, especially if they're trying to rotate in. But good thing they're not. We all have to move. It's Hot Dog Mafia at the zone. It's VP who don't commit to Summers University deep will be able to poke the prod and take the KP from these teams.
It's going down. Bad news for Rock. Meltstera low on the high ground as well. Riddle struggling to stabilize. Rock are going to do the wise thing and get the heck out of Dodge, but with Unlimit having fallen right now, with Gen G having fallen, Virtus Pro are just 1 point off of surpassing Unlimit.
Gotta keep tabs on them for Rock. This is a nice series. You're situated around that 30-point mark. You're pretty much guaranteed bracket stage for the winner's bracket. So you're learning Olympus at this point for the next time that you see it against a lot of these same teams. We talked about Riddle on the roof. They drop down. They start to contend with Team Liquid Alienware, but Taida takes a brunt of that damage. Thankfully, we popped the bat. We work on the healing because Team Liquid Alienware, they still have to deal with Falcons. They still have to deal with Shopify.
Almost surely Riddle are Valculting right now. Unless they don't have it, that has to be the answer. And it's not a great answer. It's not a fun answer. But unfortunately, sometimes you just got to Valcult because otherwise you know you're meeting the same fate as Rock, who have just gone down. We are in the top half of our lobby right now. Riddle have got to play things extremely carefully.
I feel like they wanted to hold on to that Gibby ult just a bit longer. We extend it straight forward onto them. And now 8% away from Valcult.
This is going to be crucial timing as the zone's already starting to close. Riddle don't have the cooldown immediately available to them. They're going to have to fight somebody. They're going to have to drop down onto Shopify Rebellion. Bubble goes out to buy them a little bit of time.
Di-cancel.
Valcult still not ready. Shopify Rebellion watch them go over, but that is a weak Riddle on the high ground.
Oh, and it's Taida.
Aduh, Falcon gak enak banget di
on
tengah-tengah
over.
nih.
We get a brunt of that. We take the cover. We've got Meltstera trying to hold steady. But with the Falcons on this side, you've just got no good option. Shopify at the right, Falcons on the left. You are the sandwich you don't want. You jump on in, you try to get KP, and there's nowhere to go.
Immediately third party comes in from Falcons. Even that,
oh my God,
a risky proposition. Falcons are down. Shopify Rebellion turn it around, and Liquid Alienware will go out as well.
Aduh, jadi Virtus yang ngambil posisinya. Aduh.
Shopify Rebellion are down, and that is the point Virtus Pro needed to get on top of the lobby.
They're currently at 68 points, but job's not done. They want a win here, and for Hot Dog Mafia, who have been situated with a Kraber on Alb, this angle. Anyone that tries to go for that care package is going to eat a Kraber bullet.
Alcadzia out really, really
there it is! Dupe down. Not out, but down.
Spooky news for Hot Dog Mafia. They've still largely got blues. Yes, Aberlaley's got a Kraber. Yes, they are terrifying, but they need the additional shields and, more importantly, the additional perks for their members to really have a chance of winning this.
It's going to be difficult. It really is, especially when you have S8UL and TSM kind of coexisting with you in this space. Think of how this is going to look once this circle starts to collapse. And S8UL, they've got angles onto TSM. You can hear the nades basically tearing up the shields.
S8UL could look for a win here. Right next to Virtus Pro, really is going to come down to these two rosters who have the high ground. Fnatic and TSM, even Hot Dog Mafia are all trapped on the low ground, and S8UL going down to a combination of Hot Dog Mafia and Virtus Pro. It's going to be tough for them. TSM will fall. A nice nade from Yuka F to finish them off as S8UL get pushed out of the lobby by the Hot Dog Mafia.
There is a good chance that Fnatic convert this to a win. They hold the space. They've got a pylon down. They have a triple take to keep that pressure, but they have to deal with VP, who is also on the height.
In the last game of their group stage, in their last game on Olympus, will Fnatic convert into a win? With Virtus Pro losing Lou, they very much could. A huge break from Yuka.
Kalah nih, iya kalah.
Fnatic are fighting for the high ground.
Fnatic will control the end game if they've got VP down. They are almost got VP out, and Hot Dog Mafia are going to have to make a play to get up here. We're trying to work around the knockdown shield, and instead we can see through the air, Rambo's up top.
We've still got 3 squads in this. Fnatic haven't actually finished off VP just yet. So as Hot Dog Mafia land, they've got a 2-squad fight to contend with.
Oh my God,
Hot Dog Mafia kalah, Fnatic menang.
Looking for every bit. They take what they can get. They take the win. They get that onto Olympus.
To finish their group stage,
Yang ada di low ground malah
win
menang
their
anjir.
final
Gara-gara Valkyrie ulti.
Securing themselves a fantastic spot in the elimination rounds. I hope you can hear it at home, because the crowd exploded as Fnatic managed to win this game.
Coba tadi Falcon 13-1 dia guys.
A bit of a turnaround,
Gak, masih ada hari esok guys. Yang penting masuk sih. Masih lanjut ke besok.
Opening up that fight with the R99, letting the rest of the team have some breathing room on high ground and convert into a win.
He just sits down. He's like, we did it. They were 16th overall on the group stage series, which is very much on the bubble. It's on the cusp. Let's hear you, Sapporo. Let's get those cheers out for Fnatic.
That win for them moves them up really significantly in the standings for today's games as well.
Lagi dus. Keberapa di Falcon ya?
Fnatic moved themselves all the way up to 7th off of a 25-point win.
They're situated right behind us, so we can see the fans and all of their signage and the lighting up there just ahead of us. All the pictures being taken. The support is crazy here for Fnatic, and they grabbed 25 points. Like you said, Dia, it is going to shoot them up the leaderboard. It was
gak jadi
very
mabar
well
free
to cement
kah bang?
themselves
Nanti ya
into
guys ya.
a
Ini
winners
kemungkinan
bracket
kita
run
istirahat dulu
there
ya abis ini ya.
tomorrow.
Kalau
But
misalkan
Hot
gue
Dog
masih
Mafia,
capek
they were
kayaknya diundur
inside
dulu
that
guys.
circle
Paling
since
besok
the
atau
very
enggak nanti
beginning,
malam.
right? To grab
Tapi malam ada
3
Onyx
kills,
guys
a little
malam.
tough, but still, I'll take
Ini
12
lihat
points
nanti lah ya
all day.
malam ya.
Hot Dog Mafia and S8UL second
Kemungkinan
and
sih malam
fourth
sih guys. Tapi
were the
nggak menutup
real
kemungkinan nanti
hard
jam 3
zone
bisa.
teams there, but
Kalau nggak
Virtus
capek
Pro
mah
performed
bisa.
out of their minds. They may not
Nanti
have
jam
won.
3.
Fnatic outplaying
Oh,
them a
6
little
ya,
bit in
oke
the
lah.
end, but
Not bad lah.
that pushes them all the
Seenggaknya
way
masih top
to
10 guys.
first place. The
Top
incredible
10 nanti
performance they were able to have,
dikalkulasin tuh
not
dari
just in
semua
this
tim kan.
final game,
Falcon
but
keberapa.
throughout the series. one more kill point than placement point. Funny little stat for Virtus Pro, who have maintained things about 50-50.
That's what I love about that. So thank you so much for highlighting it. It's showing the consistency on both. Not only can you place high, but you can get the frags as well. So 73 on that. Unlimit right behind them. And as you move into the group standing, can we
masih
talk
ke satu
about
guys,
the top
aman
here? You
aja.
have Unlimit and Air Force 36. Falcons kind of holding steady right there by just a few points. But I'm looking at Citadel.
Berarti kemarin
VP after that
farming ya
performance,
Falcon
those
ya?
70 points, you
Maksudnya
said they're
walaupun
gonna shoot
nggak
up
ke
the leaderboard,
satu.
and it definitely did.
And it looks like our magic number is going to be a little bit higher than 90, if I'm
Gua
honest.
kemarin nggak
Because with
nonton sih.
so
Kemarin
many
tuh dia ada
teams
di
yet
live-nya
to play. Right
si
now, our
ini,
top
siapa
20
namanya?
cutoff is just 82. With a
Si
whole
apa sih
nother
namanya? Nice
round, a
week.
whole nother 6 games, I think we may
Yaudahlah,
be
kita
going
istirahat dulu ya guys.
into the low 90s. I don't want
Udah
to
nggak ada
say
main lagi
mid
hari ini.
90s,
Paling
but
besok
at
lanjut
least
lagi
we
nih.
know
Ayo,
that
guys.
off that
Oke.
last game,
Guys, sampai
Fnatic
jumpa di
is safe.
next stream berikutnya ya. Nanti kalau jam 3
You've
aku nggak
never
capek
said
sekalian kita
better words to
mabar
me.
guys.
Okay, Dia.
Bye bye
At
semuanya.
one
Thank
point
you, thank
in
you, thank
time,
you.
I was